Now, for the Kendall corridor, as a born and raised Kendall resident for most of my life, I can attest to the need, as many of you I'm sure can, that there is a need for viable, reliable, rapid transit options on the Kendall corridor, and I can also attest to the failed promises of this county to deliver that to our residents for the past 2 decades. But what this board is being asked to consider from FDOT today is not only not rapid transit, not only is it not even able to be considered bronze BRT, it doesn't even come up in a Google search for corridor BRT because the term doesn't exist. It is a marketing term created by this department for queue jumps and other improvements across the United States that other cities have been making for decades on regular bus routes, not on rapid transit corridors. This recommendation is frankly an insult and a disservice to Kendall commuters who have been saddled with traffic for decades and ever-widening roads handed down from our state. So let's talk about it. The last time FDOT held a PD&E community input session for this project in person was in fall of 2019, and I know because I was there. If there's been one since then, I'd like to ask their team why they didn't include the only transit advocacy group to show up to any of the meetings for this project. At the time, the department was considering curbside BRT, which I'm asking you to support today. The community pushback at that meeting was not about the lane reduction. It was about the bait and switch from Metrorail from the original PTP. Since then, the department not only bait and switched again, but is proffering a substandard, not even rapid transit solution that will waste taxpayers' money and won't solve congestion. Buses and traffic don't attract riders, period. In fact, FDOT was averse to removing a lane from the beginning. FDOT staff at that PD&E meeting said it was, and I quote, taking from the many to give to the few. That audio is available upon request. So let's talk about how this BRT minus the RT and how the facts from FDOT's report don't add up. First, that this is a balanced mobility solution to alleviating congestion. I'd challenge you to think of a world where maintaining 8 lanes, 9 to 10 in some sections of Kendall Drive, and 0 for mass transit or bicycle facilities is a balanced solution. Also, buses and traffic don't get people out of their cars. Second, that this plan will provide transit improvements without eliminating lanes on Kendall Drive. That's a very car-centric of providing improvements, and it doesn't match this county's ambitious plans of reducing 10% of single-occupancy vehicle trips by 2030. And again, buses and traffic don't attract riders. Third, that this would provide congestion relief to automobiles. I think that speaks for itself. And on the last several points, that this provides better performance in traffic signal optimization or no build. That's a pretty low bar considering what's on Kendall Drive right now. That this provides better traffic performance than curbside BRT with exclusive lanes. That's categorically false, unless you consider that this department is referring to private automotive traffic, not moving people. Curbside BRT would move more people per hour than a car lane. That's geometry. Turnpike authorities also criticized this project team for their math that they provided to support that claim at that 2019 PD&E meeting and unsubstantiated quote-unquote studies that weren't necessarily studies at all. Better opportunity of FTA funding than TSM&O? Well, considering that this county recently funded TSM&O, that makes it a moot point. We funded that for $100 million, including PTP funds, for the Siemens Transit Signal Optimization Project that you all supported. And then the last one, that this allows incremental building of ridership on the Kendall corridor. And I hate to sound like a broken record, folks, but this simply doesn't match our climate action plan, and buses and traffic do not attract riders. Kendall residents don't want the subpar service and this half-baked marketing campaign-esque plan that FDOT lays out. And I don't think that this board is particularly keen on approving a half-baked plan that goes completely against what voters voted for in 2002. Almost 20 years ago. And I encourage this board to reject this proposal and move forward with curbside BRT to give transit and Kendall commuters like myself a fighting chance, not a death blow. Thank you.